What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Growth with Ethan. Let me ask you something real quick. If you had to take a week off from your business right now, like completely unplug, phone off out of town, would your business survive? Or would everything just stop? Be honest with yourself, because here's the brutal truth. Most people who call themselves business owners aren't actually running a business. They're running a full-time job that they accidentally created for themselves. And the worst part? They're working harder than they ever did when they had a boss. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because there's a way to build a business that actually works for you instead of the other way around. Stick with me. This might completely change how you think about entrepreneurship. So let me tell you about someone I know. We'll call him Marcus. Marcus quit his job about 3 years ago to start his own thing. He was tired of working for someone else, tired of asking for time off, tired of the corporate grind. He wanted freedom. So he started a small business doing something he was actually good at: graphic design and printing services, local clients, small projects, nothing crazy. And at first, it felt amazing. He was his own boss, setting his own hours, making his own decisions. But then reality hit. Marcus wasn't working less. He was working more, way more. He was doing the designing, he was doing the printing, he was handling customer service, he was doing the invoicing, he was doing the marketing, he was doing literally everything. And the second he stopped working, everything stopped. No sales came in unless he was actively selling. No orders got fulfilled unless he was personally fulfilling them. No problems got solved unless he was the one solving them. Marcus didn't own a business, he owned a job. A really exhausting, never-ending job. And honestly, most small business owners are in the exact same situation. They traded one boss for 100 clients, and somehow they're working twice as hard for less security. So why does this happen to so many people? Here's the thing. Most people start businesses because they're good at something. They can cook, they can cut hair, they can code, they can design, they can fix cars, whatever. And they think, I'm great at this. I should start my own business doing it. But here's what nobody tells you. Being good at the skill and being good at running a business are two completely different things. You can be the best baker in your city, but if you don't know how to hire people, train people, delegate, create systems, manage cash flow, and build structure, your bakery is going to feel like a prison. Because skill builds products, but systems build businesses. And most people never figure that out. They spend years being the best technician in their own company, but they never become the actual business owner. There's a book called The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, and he breaks this down perfectly. He says every business owner has 3 roles inside them. 1, the technician. That's the person who does the work, the one who's good at the skill. 2, the manager. That's the person who organizes everything, who creates structure and keeps things running smoothly. 3, the entrepreneur. That's the visionary, the one who's thinking about where the business is going in 5 years. Most people get stuck operating only as the technician, and that's why they can never step away. Because if they're not, they're doing the work. Nothing gets done. Now, here's the crazy part. Every successful entrepreneur says the exact same thing about this. Jeff Bezos says, build systems, trust the systems. Let the systems run the business. Ray Kroc, the guy who turned McDonald's into a global empire, said, you don't build a business, you build a system, and the system builds the business. Warren Buffett only invests in companies that can run without the founder. Elon Musk straight up says, if the company depends on you, you don't have a company. These people understand something that most small business owners don't. The goal isn't to be the best employee in your own company. The goal is to become replaceable. And I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. If you're the only person who can do everything, you're not a business owner. You're the most critical employee, and you can't fire yourself. You can't take a vacation. You can't scale. You're stuck. The richest, most successful business owners in the world have built companies that don't need them to operate day to day, because that's the only way you get actual freedom. And that's the only way your business can grow past what you personally can handle. Let's go back to Marcus for a second. He wanted to grow. He wanted more clients, more revenue, more impact. But every time he tried to scale, he hit a wall because he couldn't hire anyone, or more accurately, he couldn't train anyone. Everything was in his head. There were no instructions, no processes, no systems. If someone asked him, "How do you handle a customer complaint?" he'd just figure it out in the moment. If someone asked, "What's the workflow for a new order?" he'd say, "Well, it depends." There was no consistency, no documentation, no structure. And because of that, he couldn't let anyone else touch the business, because if he did, things would fall apart. This is where most businesses die, not because they're bad businesses, but because they grow past what one person can handle, and the owner refuses to let go. Growth exposes weaknesses, especially when you're trying to do everything yourself. Alright, so here's the big shift. Even if you never plan on franchising your business, you need to think like a franchise. What does that mean? It means building your business as if someone else is going to run it. Franchise thinking is all about creating clear steps, clear processes, clear instructions, and predictable results. McDonald's isn't successful because their food is the best. It's successful because their system is bulletproof. You can walk into a McDonald's in New York or Tokyo or Dubai, and the experience is almost identical. Why? Because they've documented everything. Every single task has a process. Every role has clear responsibilities. An employee can quit. A manager can quit. Even the owner can leave. And the business keeps running. That's the goal. Your business should be able to function without you, not because you're not valuable, but because you've built something bigger than yourself. And the way you do that is by creating systems that anyone can follow. Alright, so how do you actually do this? Let me break it down into 7 pillars. Pillar 1, document everything. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. You need to create step-by-step processes for every part of your business. How you handle sales, how you onboard clients, how you fulfill orders, how you deal with problems. Write it all down. Pillar 2, create SOP, standard operating procedures. These are basically instruction manuals for your business. They explain exactly how each task should be done. And when you have SOPs, training new people becomes easy. You hand them the manual, they follow the steps, done. Pillar 3, learn to delegate. This is the hardest one for most people, because you're going to think, "I can do it better," or "It's faster if I just do it myself." But that mindset kills growth. You have to let go. Start small, delegate one task, train someone, trust the process. Pillar 4, build a real team. Not helpers, a team. Hire people for specific roles. Give them clear responsibilities, train them properly, and let them own their part of the business. When you have a real team, the business doesn't depend on you anymore. Pillar 5, automate your money. Your cash flow can't depend on you manually doing everything. Set up automated invoicing, payment reminders, payroll systems, accounting software. When your money is organized, your business becomes predictable. Pillar 6, build a brand. A strong brand sells even when you're not there. People trust the brand, not just you. When your brand has a reputation, customers will keep coming even if you're not personally involved. Pillar 7, build it like you're gonna sell it. Even if you never sell your business, build it like someone could buy it tomorrow. That means clear operations, documented systems, trained team, predictable revenue. A business that can be sold is a business that can run without you. So here's what happened with Marcus. He finally realized he couldn't keep going the way he was. So he made a decision he was going to build a real business, not just a job. He started writing everything down. Every process, every workflow, every task. He created SOPs for the most common things. How to handle orders, how to talk to clients, how to use the equipment. He hired one person, then 2, then a manager. He trained them using the systems he'd built. And slowly, he started stepping back. It wasn't perfect at first. Things got messy. Mistakes happened. But he stuck with it. And 6 months later, something incredible happened. Marcus walked into his shop one day, and everything was running. Without him, orders were coming in, customers were happy. His team knew what to do. The business was growing. For the first time in 3 years, Marcus felt free. He didn't build a job, he built a system, and the system built the business. Here's the bottom line. If you want a business that runs without you, you have to stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a designer. Design the structure, design the systems, design the future. A real business is something that grows even when you're not there. And yeah, it takes work to get there. It takes planning. It takes discipline. It takes letting go of control. But the alternative is staying trapped in a job you created for yourself, and that's not freedom. That's just a different kind of prison. Alright, so here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing in your business, just one, and document the process for it. Write down every single step. Then teach that process to someone else, or at least get it ready to be taught. That's it, just one thing. Because once you do that, you'll see how powerful systems are. And you'll start building more. And eventually, you'll have a business that doesn't need you to babysit it every single day. If this video helped you, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I've got way more content coming on building real businesses, creating freedom, and leveling up your life. Drop a comment and let me know, are you stuck in the technician role or have you started building systems? I want to hear from you. This is Ethan from Growth with Ethan. I'll see you in the next one. Let's build something that lasts.